My name is Olivia.
And my name is Grace.
And we're identical twins.
We've been side by side in school since nursery all the way to Duke. And while we're not usually dressed alike, we still get mixed up all the time and frequently respond to each other's names in the Sanford hallways. But beyond the hallway mix-ups, we've also shared a rhythm that's grounded us throughout our time at Duke. For the last 4 years, we've started our days together, running side by side. As marathoners, we've walked countless miles in sync, our strides and pace matching.
Since we do so much together, people often ask, do you study the same thing? The answer is yes. We're both public policy majors. But our paths at Sanford have been far from identical, and that's not just our story, it's the story of this entire graduating class.
Our sophomore summers marked the start of our diverging paths, as we each worked to fulfill the Sanford internship requirement. I spent my summer in Miami through Duke Engage, where I worked alongside 8 of my peers at a nonprofit law firm dedicated to serving low-income immigrants. We conducted intake interviews, translated legal and personal documents, prepared country condition reports, and assisted in filing asylum applications. Alongside the legal work, our group reflected weekly on issues of justice, equity, and service. The experience deepened my understanding of the immigration system and the human stories behind it.
The same summer, I was at the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., where I gained valuable insights into the federal policymaking process. I wrote hearing briefs, assessed the use of grant funding, and had a front-row seat to the federal response during 2 major Supreme Court decisions on student aid and affirmative action. That summer solidified my belief in the urgency of making education policy more just and inclusive.
During the school year, I dove into research at the Center for Child and Family Policy, funded by Sanford's Eads Family Undergraduate Research Endowment Fund, and helped translate research into briefs on elementary education issues in North Carolina. I produced 2 briefs during my time at the center. The first explored the role of peer influence on adolescent vaping behavior, and the second examined the school-wide impacts of North Carolina's pre-kindergarten program. These briefs contributed to the center's ongoing efforts to inform state-level policy and improve educational outcomes across North Carolina.
Meanwhile, I participated in the Duke Immerse program, a semester-long exploration into the intersection of democracy, the media, and civil discourse. In an era marked by political polarization and media-driven echo chambers, this experience offered a timely and critical lens through which to study the forces shaping public opinion. Over the course of 4 months, I found myself in a space where curiosity was valued and ideological differences were embraced. It affirmed my belief that silence sustains division, while progress begins when we choose to confront differences with honest and thoughtful dialogue.
Even with our separate opportunities, the 2 of us, and all of our peers, have shared key moments that define the Sanford experience. We all remember navigating the Sanford building for the first time, most likely feeling disoriented by the maze of cascading staircases, dead-end hallways, and hidden alcoves.
We survived the rigor of Pub Pol 155 before it became pass-fail, earning us a sense of pride as the last class to meticulously write, edit, and submit graded memos on topics ranging from reducing PFAS chemicals in North Carolina waters to expanding tax incentives for electric vehicles.
And we've also marked milestones together. We're the first graduating class to receive the journalism and media minor on our diplomas. We've also all completed the policy internship, a cornerstone of our Sanford education. Though we worked towards the same end goal, the diversity of our experiences is striking. From being a news reporter at Bloomberg, to fact-checking at PolitiFact, or working for U.S. congressmen and women, we've all tackled real-world challenges in different ways.
That's the beauty of a Sanford public policy degree. It offers us a common language to address the most pressing issues of our time, and it connects us to a community of people who share the belief that change is not only possible, it's necessary. The ambition to achieve that change is what unites us. For me, that ambition took shape in the decision to apply for the John M. Belk Impact Fellowship, a 10-month internship through the Hunt Institute, which partners closely with the Sanford School. I specifically requested a placement with North Carolina independent colleges and universities. an organization that advocates for private higher education institutions in matters of state and federal policy. In this role, I've had the remarkable privilege to engage directly with education policy, visit the North Carolina legislature, and learn from seasoned professionals about advancing educational equity. One of the most meaningful parts of my work has been helping to facilitate the NCICU Ethics Bowl. Ethics Bowl competitions incorporate a style of debate that I firmly believe in. It challenges students to dissect pressing ethical case studies and fosters evidence-based dialogue and research, the very approach to problem solving cultivated at Sanford as well.
For me, that ambition led me to pursue Sanford's journalism and media minor. I wanted to explore how storytelling could be used not just to inform, but to drive change, and I found that opportunity in my long-form journalism course. As part of a semester-long assignment, I wrote a piece on the lack of reintegrative resources for formerly incarcerated individuals in North Carolina. That story led me to Adrian Boone, who shared his experience of rebuilding his life after 17 years in federal prison. He spoke about the steep barriers to employment and housing upon release. Today, Adrian leads reentry efforts in Winston-Salem, helping others navigate the transition post-incarceration. His story stayed with me. It reminded me that behind every issue we study at Sanford is a real person, a real family, a real life, and that public policy is not solely data and legislation, but a way of seeing people fully. Boone reinforced that policy change begins with how we see each other. He told me, "If we have a better understanding of who each other are as people, we would have such a better world. Far too often, people cast others away. People are human, people make mistakes, they cannot be totally dismissed. We need to see the value in a human being." At Sanford, I've learned that public policy is about the people we advocate for and the voices we elevate. Through sharing stories like Adrian Boone's, I hope to inspire the change that our system needs.
As we leave Duke and set out on this next chapter of our lives, we do so knowing the importance of defending democracy, advancing civil discourse, and treating others with respect.
To our classmates, thank you for being part of this community and for pushing us all to think critically.
To our professors and mentors, thank you for equipping us with the tools, knowledge, and confidence to excel both at Duke and in whatever comes next. And finally, to our families and friends, thank you for your support and love that has carried us here.
Today, we leave Sanford as distinct versions of the same story, one where curiosity, teamwork, and empathy can shape the world in meaningful ways.
In 1971, Terry Sanford envisioned an institution dedicated to cultivating students with outrageous ambition. Congratulations, class of 2025. Here's to continuing to be outrageously ambitious.